Do you think about all the implications from that play that, maybe he doesn't come back, maybe it long term, we got a good look at EJ under fire 4 games or anything like that?
Why would I do that?
Well,
that's crazy.
I mean in the off season.
No. EJ
how
had
one
the same
play
look.
changed.
EJ had the same one. But then EJ got hurt and didn't go through spring.
Yeah.
Then what we done? Then what we done? Not to have that guy back, and do that? No. And if he would have went out and had a great year, I'd been the first one to thank him. Because that's Christian, if that had been what's best for him, I'd have encouraged that, but not from that aspect of, and it has nothing to do with EJ. That's ball. Life, I say, things happen for a reason. And that's just the way things go.
Jimbo, are you having some defensive tackles? That's starting to become an issue in terms of the depth of that. I think you only rotated 3 guys in this last game.
He just didn't play as much. I don't think he needs to, and we need to get one more physical in there. We got to continue to be physical on defense. I think that's one of the things that we got to continue to. You always got to be physical on defense. We got to tackle a little better. We're getting outflanked in the flats there a little bit. Had some issues on guys in flat coverage that we're not training our eyes to do things that should have been out in the flat on those things. And 4 or 5 times we gave up some plays, and we just have to be more disciplined. That was another thing. Talk about deep balls. We get outflanked there 4 or 5 times and miss some tackles out there in the flats, and were easy throws and easy gains that can change field position that we didn't do either.
Is that one of the positions on a long season that's going to get worn down just because of the nature of that defensive tackle, the nature of that position?
I think everybody. If you're physical inside, offensive line does, defensive line. Football in general mainly does. But your front 7 guys tend to take more pounding. You know what I mean? From that, running backs do a lot of it too. Believe it or not, linebackers. those guys. It's physical. But that's why you got to get stronger during the season. Your lifting and your off-season conditioning and those things. And young guys, you got a lot of guys. Like I say, a lot of them seasons are ready to be over. Some of those sophomores they never played all the way through November. And you got to remember that. You got to remind them. And the season just started. That's what we got a quarter of our season left. Probably got 4 more games left, and we have to continue to get better and build a foundation and play good football games.
What was the deal with 33 Saturday?
The other guys were playing good, and he was nicked up a little bit from the week before, nothing bad, but just the way the game was going, and we felt comfortable in the passing game, doing things. We were throwing it a little better, and then some of our spread runs, what they were doing. Yeah, he'll play.
How is Hicks developing?
He's got a lot of ability. He got better. He made a nice tackle for loss, come off the backside. He's another one, learning consistency. Because when he flashes and does things now, he's really good. He's just learning to play with that level of intensity. And I think when he gets out of here, hopefully the rest of this season and into next year, I think he's got a chance to be a really good football player. I really do. I like him.
How's Chris? He was a little. Chris Thompson. He was banged up a little bit.
Chris who? I'm sorry.
Thompson.
Oh, good. He should be out there today.
Okay.
Nicked up, or may hold just a little bit, just see how his injury is. I'll wait to see him out there. But they said my report was just maybe a little hobble for a day or so, and then I think he'll be okay. It was I think a little hip thing or something.
I came in late. You probably already told these guys. How come Ponder wasn't here today?
No, we didn't. See, y'all slipped up. How about that? Look at y'all. No, he had a little swelling on that elbow again, and the doctor wanted to see him over there, so he went over to the office. He went over to the office to because the doctor couldn't come over here for practice, see if he just wanted to check it out. So, I don't until he gets back. I'll maybe after practice I'll be able to give you a
report. Bursley, the same?
I think so. They said they just wanted to look at it. Honestly, if I told you right now, I'd be telling you a lie. I'll know because he went over. They told me this morning he went over, and then he should be getting back in practice or for practice. I'll be able to have practice. I'll be able to tell you.
Ironically, we were all kind of wringing our hands about the passing game for weeks, and in the last 2 weeks, the passing game really seems like it
was there. And we're protected.
Function of everything.
We're protecting better. Guys were getting in the routes, and like I say, and we're still left some out there. Had some drops and things that cost us drives, but I tell you, we have to do both. And you can't, against North Carolina, those folks, you're not going to line up against those guys and just butt them into those linebackers. 240 pounds, they take your backs and throw them around. Those defensive tackles, you just don't line up and run the ball down people's throats. You got to have balance. And the whole key is score points, move the football, occupy the football, have balance, and that's what we got to do. And we have thrown the ball. We have thrown the ball very well the last 2 weeks.
But the last 2 weeks, you've also been really balanced.
We have. That's what I'm saying. That's what we are.
Yeah.
That's what we are. Christian had gotten healthy. That arm came through, and like I said, and our receivers have gotten more consistent. They still played better and did some good things. Just when you're having to score 40, sometimes you want every point out there. And that's a game you need to get 40, and you can't afford to have 2 or 3 possessions or miss block or a drop or You know what I mean? He forced you to play perfect, and that's the difference in win and lose.
Have you talked to Dustin at all the last couple of days?
Oh yeah. I talked to him after the game that night. Sunday I saw him, and he's good. Tell you what, he's a special young man. He really is. He's very strong in his faith and his belief in who he is, and what I like about him, he's a stand-up guy. He stands right there and looks you in the eye, and takes, just like him, Christians. That's why I say there's a lot of character on this football team. There's not guys who want to dodge and go hide and try not to avoid you guys when things don't go well. And a lot of times when they want to come find you when they're well. You know what I mean? A lot of folks, but those guys they'll stand right up there and talk to you when it's not going well. There's a lot of very good character, and there's a lot of young men on this team that they were my children. I'd be very proud.
Can you talk about, obviously the last 2 plays have been what people harp on.
Yeah.
Your offense put yourself in position to have your All-American kicker kick a 40-yard field goal to win a game, and then you're down at the 4-yard line against NC State. I mean, talking about results and process and all that, they did what they had to do to get in position.
And got to finish, and we got to finish. And like I said,
But is there positive, obviously?
Oh, there is a positive that you can do that. Like I heard on the sidelines. When it's just like when I was on the sideline, they said, "Hey, 2 minutes, got 2 timeouts, just like practice, guys. Let's go right down and get the point." I mean, it wasn't, "Hey, we can go do this." Hey, it's just like practice. We got 2 timeouts, got a minute to go. We got this, we got that. I mean, I was just listening behind. You know what I mean? And I was talking to Christian and going through the drive what we wanted to do, and you could just, there wasn't a doubt about it. And it's a good thing that they know they're capable of going down there. Now they got to finish. And like I said before, and the thing we got to get fixed too is if we get a lead, we don't need to give up a drive to give up points. That's the other end of that. Both times now you keep forgetting that part of it too. Now we've had leads and giving them up that way too, and that we got to get that fixed. And then covering kicks and doing all. I mean, and like I said, if we were 8-1, we still have that same problem. Now I want to be 8-1. I'm not saying that. Now I don't want people to understand. I'm trying to justify or minimize anything that's happened. But we have to build the foundation and understand the problems of what goes on. And sometimes when it doesn't go your way, sometimes I listen better. So hopefully we'll
Jimbo,
get
your
there.
dumbass question for the day, and I know you expect that from me.
This one.
But you have really focused in on situations. 2 minute, 1 minute, goal line.
Exactly.
Keep the ball. Any danger that causes kids to not be focused on regular stuff?
I don't think so, because the key things in the field on 3rd down we're executing, red zone we're executing, for the most part. But we still we do that, but every day in practice there's still 45 minutes of that practice based on 30, I call 20 to 20 or 30 to 30, however you want it, some guys describe it. We still do 45 minutes a day or more. Still more of that actually is focused on that than still 3rd down. Now because those blocks are broken off in 12-minute sections. 8-minute sections here and there, but it's still at least 45 minutes to 50 minutes a day based on the middle section.
It's 1st and 10, first drive of the game. Here we are.
Yeah, we still that's the way we still do. We do like today. There'll be a lot of 1st and 10 stuff on Tuesday. It's nothing but 1st and 10, 2nd down. There's no red zone. There's no 3rd down. There's no anything on Tuesday. It's all inside run. It's all 1st down, 2nd down, middle of the field shots. Then we'll mix a little short yardage in. On Wednesday is your goal line, red zone, and 3rd down, but you're still reviewing over 35 to 40 minutes of 1st and 2nd down from the day before. And then Thursday, when you go, you combine them all in drives. Move down the field, coming off the goal line, 1st down, 2nd down. So we're still probably 2 to 1. Those situations over 3rd down, red zone.
How did Ronnie do when you looked at the film?
Played solid. He had a few mistakes here and there, and could have done a little bit, but played a very good football game, especially against a very good opponent and a very good guy he was going against, and was very solid in his performance. I was pleased with Ronnie. Ronnie did a nice job in the ball game.
Do you don't expect Spurlock or
Those tests in Stork, where the things are going, there's still a possibility, but no, expecting Ronnie to be playing. And I said after the game, it was hard for me. Everybody was asking me, you get things even said to you from upstairs in the booth. Until you really see that film, it's hard to say, okay, I thought he gave up pressure there, but until you see it on film, it's hard to judge. And I thought Ronnie played a very solid football game.
A young player, coach like Halstead, has a game like he had Saturday. Going forward, how does that fit into your game plan?
Well, hopefully, if he'll continue to come out here and practice and do the things, and hopefully grow from confidence of it. I've been waiting for that, because he showed spurts of that off and on during the year, and he does it, and developing consistency. You know what I mean? And hopefully he does. He had a great catch last week at. We went to him a bunch at North Carolina State, and then unfortunately he had one. But again, he had one big. Again, he had one lack of focus. He had one lack of focus, and it was on the what? Easiest catch of the day. They could have put 6 points on the board. But that's not, I mean, that's something he's got to understand. I mean, that's part of maturity. That's part of growing. That's what I say. I mean, you know, there's an example. We went to Willie. You know what I'm saying? But they have to get there, and that doesn't mean and then what I do in 2 minutes, threw it right back to him, and he made the catch and took, got his start.